Check out FlipsideGaming.com for all your gaming needs. Use the promo code HEROES to save 10% on all orders over $10. From now until June 17th, if you use this promo code, you will automatically be entered into a drawing to win a Modern Horizons booster box. Also, there is a way to enter the drawing with no purchase necessary. See the description below for the full details. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to our Picks of the Month video for June 2019. Today we're going to talk about 15 cards you might want to pick up for your Sliver deck. Quick reminder about the Picks of the Month series. We have one of these episodes come out once a month, of course, and they do go out to the gold patrons first. So by the time you see this on YouTube, it might be about 24 to 48 hours later, so some prices might have shifted, especially considering slivers are pretty hot right now. But without any further ado, let's get into it. So what do I want for my Sliver deck? That's the question we're going to try to answer today. I chose 15 cards, and they are cards that will fit into different types of Sliver decks. I tried to pick slivers that are actually just very solid slivers, some of them more expensive than others. You're going to find some commons and uncommons here, which are going to be a little more budget friendly, but there's a few more expensive cards on the list today too. All these cards have something in common though. I do believe they will be going up in value, especially as we get closer to the release of Modern Horizons, with the new slivers coming out. Now, I didn't pick the cards that have already spiked massively. For example, we're not going to talk about Lords today, or things like Sliver Hive, or even Cavern of Souls. Basically, you already know if you're playing a commander deck, you're going to need a legendary sliver for that. And obviously, any sliver deck is going to get better with Cavern of Souls, but that's already a very expensive card. So now that I kind of explained the parameters, let's look at the cards for today. First, we have Sidewinder Sliver, $1.28. This is a common from Time Spiral. You can play this in Pauper. All slivers have flanking. It sounds very simple, but when you're up against other heavy creature decks, this can be a great card to have. It's just a 1-drop 1/1, but it brings a great ability. Sanu Sliver. Okay, one of my favorites. This card has actually been going up quite a bit recently, $4.37. It's one of the key components in the Pauper Sliver decks typically. All the slivers that grant +1/+1 are worth your time, and there's going to be more in this video that we'll talk about. Notice this is one that gives its ability to all slivers, like the previous card we just saw. Some of the more contemporary slivers will only give abilities just to your slivers, and that can definitely make a difference. Gal Rider Sliver, $10.97. Okay, this one kind of spiked already. Might not be a great time to buy this card, obviously, because of the high price point. I do think it will trend down a little bit, probably over the next week or so. But then once Modern Horizons starts rolling, I do think it will go up in value more. And this is definitely a card you want to have because it's going to have some long-term value, I believe. So this time slivers you control have flying. Again, it's a 1-drop, gives all your slivers evasion. It's fantastic. Telekinetic Sliver, $1.27. I think this one's the steal. Out of all the cards we're going to talk about today, I think this one has maybe the best growth potential. It is a card that impacts all slivers, sure. It also is a little expensive, 2 blue and 2 for this 2/2. But all slivers have tap target permanent. That is huge. Kind of feels a little bit like opposition, but you can tap down target permanent that includes your opponent's lands. If you get enough slivers in play, this comes down. Basically, you just choke them out of the game for the most part. This is a very difficult sliver to get around and sometimes can put away a game. Back to flying now with Wing Sliver. This one is only 40 cents. All slivers gain flying this time. And it does cost 1 more than the Gal Rider Sliver. So this card isn't as good, but it's definitely a strong budget option. And you can play this in Pauper. Or if you just want redundancy in your sliver deck, which is good, especially if you're playing Commander slivers, for example. Now, this card was also featured in the Premium Deck Series Slivers product. And if you're looking for a more affordable group of foil slivers, there are actually good foil deals in there, so this is one of those cards, and there's a few more on the list. I'll point them out as they come up. Striking Sliver, great budget pickup at 28 cents. Just 1 red, all your slivers get first strike. This is awesome in any combat situation. If you need to get defensive, having untapped slivers sitting across the battlefield from your opponent that all have first strike, that's going to be difficult at times to deal with. And you can play this in Pauper. Awesome card. Here's another card you can play in Pauper. This is a common Muscle Sliver, $1.04. This is another one of those cards. All slivers get +1/+1. Remember, too, it is a 2-drop 1/1 on paper, but it does not say all other slivers. This will actually get the bonus as well. So you got yourself a 2/2 for 2 with upside. Nothing wrong with that. Yes, it does affect all slivers. We're going to look at a card in a moment that actually only does this to your slivers, so that's good. But, again, this is still going to be a great effect regardless. This is also another one of those cards that was in the Premium Deck series. If you're looking for a pretty affordable foil, you can get one of those there, which is nice. The Sanu Sliver we saw earlier was a color-shifted version of this card, something they did in the Planar Chaos set. Predatory Sliver at 47 cents. Yes, this one is actually cheaper, and it is actually better. Green and 1/1/1 Sliver creatures you control get +1/+1. So this still gets the bonus. It's a 2/2 with upside. This time, no upside to the other Sliver players at the table. This is a common, pauper playable, and again, I would use all of these in conjunction. I think they are all very good 2-drops to just grow your entire Sliver army. Crystalline Sliver at $5.06. Okay, this one is heating up right now as we speak. A lot of the cards we're talking about today are heating up, even if it's just a little bit. But this is one to keep an eye on. 2 casting costs, granted 2 different colors. Slivers cannot be the target of spells or abilities. Protects your slivers from spot removal. This can be backbreaking. Sure, board sweeps are still going to take them out, and that's going to be your worst enemy when it comes to slivers. But this does defend against a lot of stuff, and it doesn't cost very much. You could get this out on turn 2. Your opponent could be having a real difficult time. Another card that does have a foil version for that Premium Deck Series Sliver product. Dark Heart Sliver, $2.34. This one is really heating up, actually. 2 casting costs for a 2/2. Again, 2 different colors. But all your slivers have sacrificed this creature. You gain 3 life. So if somebody does bring out the board sweep on you, you're going to get something out of it. You're going to gain a whole bunch of life. Also just nice to have in a pinch, or maybe you're against an aggressive build. This is another one to keep an eye on, and definitely, like most of the cards we're talking about today, have a lot of growth potential. Harmonic Sliver, $4.49. This one actually is already beginning to spike a little bit, just as of about 48 hours ago. All slivers have, when this creature enters the battlefield, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Especially good when you're talking about Commander. You know there's always going to be targets out there. Broken enchantments, mana rocks. You're going to find things to hit with this. Hibernation Sliver at $1.40. Another card you'll find in that Premium Deck Series Sliver product if you're looking for a foil. This is awesome to protect your slivers against the board sweep or even spot removal. Each sliver gains pay 2 life, return this creature to owner's hand. That's awesome. If your slivers are in danger, you have the opportunity to bounce them back. It's going to cost you some life. Some of that life loss can be offset by the Dark Heart Sliver we saw earlier. But if you're playing Commander especially, you might have some extra life to play with. This will be great for you. Aether Vial. Okay, the most expensive card we're talking about today. This one is not cheap. Iconic Masters, $39.47. Modern Masters, $39.99. Darksteel, $41.13. Clearly, though, this would be great in a Sliver deck. The problem is, price-wise, a lot of other decks want this card too. A couple of the biggest ones are Modern Humans and Spirits. A lot of other Modern and Legacy decks run it as well. Now, I will say this. At some point, the card will be reprinted. We just don't know when that's going to be. Over time, this will creep up until we finally do see another reprint. Ancient Ziggurats, $8.98. This one's a little cheaper, but not necessarily cheap. Great way to just get mana of any color to play creature spells. Now, again, there's other decks that play this. Modern and Legacy Humans, for example, are 2 of the really big ones out there. However, this is another card if you were looking for a more affordable foil you might be able to find because it was in that Premium Deck Series Sliver product again. Great card to have in general in your collection. I assume at some point it's going to see a reprint. Again, we just don't know when, though. Another land hero, Mutavault, which counts as a sliver, by the way. Magic 2014, $8.99. Morningtide, $12.92. This is actually a very good price for this card. Again, another card that I'm sure we'll see a reprinting. Just don't know when. And if you can pick one of these up for $8, $9, just doesn't feel like a bad deal. Sees a lot of play in just tribal builds across the board, and that includes Modern, Legacy, and Vintage. So if you don't have these in your collection, this doesn't feel like a bad price point either. Alright, with that being said, those are my picks for this month. And, nothing here that's going to get you rich or anything like that. But these are all cards that have potential for growth in the coming weeks, months, or years. So if you have been putting them off, adding them to your collection for whatever reason, might be a good time to think about them. But be careful, slivers are getting a little bit hot right now. There could be more hype coming again when the set actually drops. Don't overpay, just be real careful. But until next time though, hey, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.